Hey everybody, let's say you have a printer kicking around that does not support Wi-Fi or network connectivity, and you would like to use it as sort of a networked printer. Let's say you have a situation to where you want to have the printer many feet away from your computer, let's say in the other side of the room, or maybe a different room of your house if you have a spare unused Ethernet line available, and I mean not connected to anything else physically. So the printer we're using here actually does support Wi-Fi connectivity. We're using Jenny Packard for this demonstration. It's an OfficeJet 4650, and if you look here, it is not connected. So that being said, we're going to do a traditional USB connection. This will simulate a printer that either does not support network connectivity, or let's say you got a printer like, for example, a Kodak printer, which nowadays has poor driver support, and therefore it's difficult to get the Wi-Fi printing to work. So we have this product right here that's called a USB RJ45 extender adapter, or extension adapter. It's made by Monoprice. So what this does is, on one end you would connect to your computer system, and on this end right here you will plug in your RJ45 Cat5 or Cat6 Ethernet cable, and this will allow you to make the USB connection up to 150 feet instead of the roughly 15 feet or so that you're limited with over traditional USB. Now, I would like to caution you, this only operates at USB 1.1 speeds. So I had actually purchased this for a different purpose. I was originally going to use it to drive my work desk camera from the Computer Plexi. However, since this operates at USB 1.1 speeds, and I should mention it doesn't really clarify that real well in the listing on Amazon, of course the camera, it wouldn't work for streaming. So maybe if you have an old webcam that records at, like, let's say 640 by 480 or 320 by 240, you could probably use a product like this to stream off that webcam. But for anything that requires faster data connectivity, you're going to be kind of out of luck. But for this purpose, it should work okay. So the way this is going to work is we have our USB A to B connection plugged into the printer. We're going to go ahead and plug in our second part of the adapter. This is the side that has the female A connection. That just plugs in like that. So what we need to do is, let's go ahead and grab us a RJ45 LAN cable and plug it in. Okay, so here's our LAN cable. It's a Cat5e Ethernet cable. And what we'll do is we'll take our male end of this adapter and plug it in like so. And again, I do want to caution you, this right here is not a USB to Ethernet adapter. This is not a network adapter. All this does is it makes use of the wiring in this cable. It doesn't interface with a LAN connection. So, as mentioned earlier, this is good if you have an unused, in other words, disconnected Ethernet line in your house. In other words, it's not tied into a router or switch anywhere. One end is plugged into this end, and the other end is plugged into the female adapter. So, again, this is not a network adapter. Okay, so now we're going to plug the male end into a USB port. And we'll take this end of the Ethernet connection, and we're going to take the other end of our Ethernet connection and plug it into the female adapter. And the computer should pick up the printer and install drivers. Now with Windows 10 and Windows 11, generally the drivers should pick up on their own, which this system has already had this printer hooked up to it before, so it should just pick it right up. And there is a listing on Amazon for this product. It is $12 roughly. And you can see right here, this is our HP OfficeJet 4650 series printer. So it's so if you're just wanting to hook up a printer, let's say in your office or wherever, and you just need a longer connection between the printer and the computer, well, this is all you really need to do. You can install the printer up to 150 feet away from the system. However, we're going to take it a step further in this one. What we're going to do is we're going to share this printer. And we'll just name it Jenny. And the way this works is other computers on your home network can actually connect up to this printer. The host computer has to be on at all times for the printer to be available at all times. If you shut down the computer or if it goes to sleep, then the printer will not be available. And I should mention that in some cases this may not work. It's not guaranteed to work with every kind of printer you have. You may run into issues with drivers. It's a thing that can happen. So what's going to happen is it's going to use the drivers that are installed on this system. Whenever you go to connect to this printer from a different computer, that computer is going to get the drivers from this computer, install them, and then it'll be able to print. So what we're going to do is going to select OK, and you can see it is currently setting it up. This printer is now shared. I should note it's important to know the computer name of your system that's hosting the printer. You can see the computer name is Cube Computer 2 in this case. Now by default, Windows 10, it's kind of like Windows XP. It likes to assign a random computer name using a combination of a bunch of jumbled up letters and numbers. And let's say this is your case. You don't need to have to remember all that. If you wish, you can change your computer's name by clicking rename this PC. Type in the new name, click next, and then restart your computer. Now keep in mind, if you are sharing files to other computers on your home network, this could break that, and you may have to go back and reconfigure shares on other computers on your home network. So I'm going to say for a lot of people this is not going to be a problem unless you're really tech savvy and you have network share set up, but just want to note that. Okay, so we're at a different computer now, and in Windows 10 and Windows 11 you have two ways to add printers and manage your printers. So for example, you can see we have the classic devices and printers control panel application, and we have the modern settings app that's in Windows 10 and Windows 11. So for example, you go to printers and scanners, you can see your printers and scanners. You can add device. I'm not sure what it's doing yet. It's not. Yeah. So we're going to do this a little differently. So what we're going to do is we're going to go onto the network. And in some cases you actually have to manually type in your computer's name. And you do need to have your computer set up to allow sharing of printers and files. And to do that really is you go into Control Panel, Network and Sharing Center, change Advanced Sharing Settings. It actually goes into the settings thing on Windows 11. So for example, the network that's hooked to is a private network. File and printer sharing is turned on. That's the case for this machine, but a lot of times it will be turned off, so you need to turn that on. So you have to have that turned on the computer that is hosting the printer. Okay, so we're going to manually type in the computer's name since it's not picking up automatically. Sometimes it won't do that. So 2 backslashes in the computer name. And you can see there's Jenny All we gotta do is right click and say connect. And it says connecting to Jenny on Computer 2. And now if we go into devices and printers, there you are. Scroll down. You can see right there HP OfficeJet 4650 series on Computer 2. We can go into printer properties and we can print a test page. And if we go back into here, you can see Jenny is printing out the print job. So you can see, this is how you can set up a network printer on a printer that does not support networking. Although Jenny does support networking, we treated Jenny like she didn't support networking. So you can do two things here. You can use this monoprice USB extender to extend a connection from your host computer to the printer by up to 150 feet. So you could have the printer in a whole different room in your house if you wish. And also, if you wish, you can also host that printer to where other PCs can print to it. Again, the computer that's hosting the printer must remain on for this. And I should mention that depending on the printers, scan functions and stuff like that may not be available. I don't think it was. However, I can double check just to see. So for example, if I go into pull up import photos and videos, it is not there. So keep in mind, you may be limited on what you can do in some cases, but for printing, this is how you can set it up. So anyways, that's how you can network an older printer that does not have built-in networking. And again, you may not have access to scanning functions automatically, but at least you will be able to print for multiple PCs. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Well everybody, that wraps it up for this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to Computer channel, and be sure to tick the bell, that way you get notified of new video posts. Also, I recommend following Computer Company on Facebook. A link is in the video description. In addition to computer tech videos, I have a second channel, CubeCompMTDX. Links are available at the end of this video. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching and your support.